Frodo failed. He couldn't let go of the ring. And we call it failure because we expect heroes to remain whole. But that assumes he was still the same person at the end. And he wasn't. He was someone who had been carrying something for far too long. The ring can be seen as the embodiment of power. But what it leaves behind is not power. Wherever it goes, it does something quieter and slower. It doesn't simply corrupt, it isolates. Because the will to power has a cost. It steadily pushes out everything that resists it. Love, trust, connection. As one reading puts it, where love rules, there is no will to power, and where power predominates, love is lacking. Each becomes the shadow of the other. The ring embeds itself slowly, reshaping perception, thought, and identity. It turns the world inward. It creates suspicion where there was trust, distance where there was closeness, and silence where there was presence. And over time, it doesn't just influence the self, it begins to replace it. It's a strange, and to all of us, familiar process of erosion. At the beginning, Frodo is grounded, present, but the burden doesn't break him all at once. It wears him down, gradually, step by step, choice by choice. Until by the time he reaches Mordor, it doesn't feel like he's resisting the ring anymore. He's surviving it. When Frodo Baggins is stabbed by the Witch King of Angmar, the wound never truly heals. The pain returns again and again, on certain days, at certain times, as if the past isn't fully in the past. Something invisible remains, and even after the journey ends, it still follows him. Mordor isn't just a place, it's what prolonged suffering feels like. Ash, exhaustion, a world reduced to survival. It echoes something Tolkien himself witnessed during World War I, where landscapes were turned into wastelands, and life was stripped down to endurance. And death wasn't just natural anymore. It became mechanical, industrial. So Mordor doesn't just exist on the map, it exists in the mind. Gollum isn't just a villain. He's what happens when the process never ends, when there's no recovery, no interruption, only repetition. And yes, his choices matter, but as Gandalf says, many that live deserve death. And Gollum isn't just someone to defeat, he's a warning, a glimpse of where Frodo is heading if nothing breaks the cycle. At the very end, Frodo doesn't destroy the ring, because by that point, there is no clean version of him left to choose. The ring has already shaped him, and this wasn't a sudden failure, it was the final moment of a long psychological collapse. And then, the ring is gone. The world is saved. Though Sauron isn't truly defeated, only diminished, because in Tolkien's world, and in our world, evil doesn't disappear. It persists in new forms. And Frodo doesn't recover, because survival isn't the same as healing. So instead of staying, he leaves. Because some burdens don't end when the story ends. They end when you finally let them go. And maybe that's the quiet truth beneath it all. That not everything we carry is meant to be carried forever. And perhaps the ring wasn't only destroyed in the fires of Mount Doom, but in some way also refused by J.R.R. Tolkien himself when he chose to let the story end.